All right, what's up? Feedback should go away. I was messing with my mic. There we go. All right, well, welcome back, heathens and demons, sinners and saints. I think John might be here.
Yeah, hey, can you hear me?
Yep, what's up, John?
So check it out, man. I'm usually on my mobile when I do this, and I don't see the icons as far as like to change, to turn the camera off, and then my avatar comes up.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never done it on my phone. I did Zoom on my phone.
Well, no, I'm saying I use. Oh, wait a minute, I found it now. Here we go. And then now my icon should be up, right? My avatar.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's your avatar. Yeah, we should be joined hopefully by a young new YouTuber that I told I'd give him a chance to come on and promote himself yesterday, but I wasn't feeling well. At least I started feeling like crap again later that evening. I started to feel a little bit better during the messenger conversation, but it never really got. I was just drained, I think. I feel better today. I've been researching all day. Going to start an interesting historical series next week. It's probably later in the week, but it's going to be interesting. So yeah, hopefully this kid will come on. I don't know him too well. I've seen one of his videos. He reached out to me on Twitter, and I was gonna kind of promote him, and then I kind of seen something on Twitter that's got me a little like nervous. Like, let's come on, have a conversation, and we'll meet you and let you introduce yourself. But it's something that I want to do with young YouTubers. Something that I wish I had, and maybe if I'd have been aware of the community, that I would have had it. I just wasn't. But I sent the link out to him on Twitter. We do have some regulars in the house already. Lotta is all the way here from across the pond. Free Spirit, Reese, Wujita, Immutable Destiny. Yes, you need to come on. And actually, I wanted to be able to talk to you maybe one-on-one or in a very small chat. You're more than welcome to come in if you want. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on. My daughter does have a friend here. I should be getting a text message from her parents soon. But I'm going to try to be on for a little bit. I might have to step away. And John at least can keep you going while I step away. But
well, plus you got to give me some time to say a few things before.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to start with that. That's the big thing. So that's pretty much what this discussion is going to be about. I want you to be able to say your piece. And I did let you say a little bit Friday night, and then definitely Messenger did call you out yesterday, and I was pretty torn about letting you come in and at that moment and not. I thought about it, and I'm like, well, I promised Messenger, so now I'm going to let you come on, and Messenger has actually agreed to talk to you here on the Raging Atheist as well, if you're up for that. But that'll be between you and Messenger. But yeah, go ahead and say your piece and go ahead and get out what you want to get out.
What I was going to say right now is just keep talking for a minute. I got to step away and grab something, and
yeah, I can definitely do that because I got a couple announcements I can make. So yeah, definitely. If you guys aren't aware, Wujita's in the house. What's up, Wujita? Blood Wolf Moon Chubbs is here. All my peoples. Hopefully more will join. It is kind of an early broadcast. I'm feeling a little better today. I'm going to be going on Jesus is Lord at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be fun. Let's see how long we last up in there. But I made a promise. He's been on my channel. I'd go on his. So Tuesday night, Scholar Fiction, Digital Hammurabi will be on the Raging Atheist. We are going to have an interesting conversation. And hey, Digital Hammurabi's up in the house right now. What's up, Digital Hammurabi? So yeah, this is going to be a nice little conversation. John's got some things to say to Messenger from our conversation yesterday. And I'm going to be talking about my direction. Not so much because I'm going to be making a video about it. Hopefully I'll get it up tomorrow. But I'm going to be changing directions, doing things a little differently. Raging Atheist is going to be evolving, which is something I've been thinking about and talking about, and never did for quite a few months now. So the topic with Jill supposedly is going to be slavery. We're going to talk slavery in the Bible. We'll see if Jill is going to let me speak and bring citations. I bought a new computer just so I can be more accurate. So we'll see if Jill has an accurate conversation with me. I think John might be coming into that conversation. He was invited. I'm more than willing to have an ally in the room. So we'll see if John shows up.
Well, yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to do that.
I wouldn't blame you if you don't.
But so this, can you, and are my mic levels fine?
You sound good to me.
Okay. Yeah, because usually I'm on my phone and that doesn't usually work too good. And I'm trying out my laptop for the first time. Matter of fact, I couldn't, I'm so tech illiterate. I'm looking at this Chromebook and I'm going, there ain't no microphone on this. Like, you know.
Man, I'm learning as I go with all this stuff. I'm planning on, well, until my car broke down again, I was planning on very soon buying more technology. And I'm like, I don't even know how to work the technology I have. And I'm going to try to buy new stuff that I'm going to have to learn how to work. That's going to be interesting.
So the biggest thing, or well, not the biggest thing, but the first thing is I want to clear something up with you. As far as not with you, but something that that messenger said yesterday about the not doing it on Modern Day Debates channel. And, you know, he claims that he does not attempt to deceive, but, you know, he pretty much implied that I was calling you an asshole, and nothing could be further from the truth. I mean,
and I definitely didn't take it like that. And I try to tell Messenger, like, I want to read the conversations. I want to know the context because I find you to be enjoyable. I find him to be enjoyable. And until I know the whole context of, and he spelled out that, I guess, you guys started interacting on Skylar Fiction chat rooms. So, you know, I'd like to kind of get the whole context of it and let you both speak at each other. But yeah, I never took it like you was calling me an asshole in any way. I think you got frustrated, and by all rights, you wanted to come on and defend yourself. And I was really torn on whether or not, I still think it might have been a bad decision not to let you come on, at least for, 10, 15 minutes to defend yourself. So that's why I wanted to have another conversation last night, and I just started to feel really, really crappy. That's why I'm doing such an early conversation today, because I really wanted to give you this chance to be able to speak against, because where I enjoyed the conversation with Messenger yesterday, I was uncomfortable when it went to you. I would have rather have kept the conversation between me and him,
Well, and I'm trying to figure out here how I can screen share some of this stuff, but
yeah, I don't understand the screen sharing. That's something that I'm supposed to be learning today, because that's something that I want to incorporate more. But I've been researching the 30 Years War all morning, so I haven't quite gotten to that yet today. I'm going to make more time to research. I'm going to make more time to read, and that started this morning because I only ended up sleeping like 5 hours. I don't know. So I'm probably going to regret it.
Well, so at any rate, what I was saying, now you've been on Modern Day Debates channel, okay?
Yeah, 2 times.
In that, well, I mean, but you've been in the chat there too. I mean, you're familiar with James's channel.
Yeah, yeah. I'm becoming more familiar with it. Like last night, I think it was, I'm starting to see like Nephilim Free in there more and Standing for Truth. And I know I definitely don't like Standing for Truth, but yeah, go ahead. So yeah, I'm definitely familiar with it.
Well, so in the chat of one of your videos, it was the video when you first talked to Messenger Reveals, and like he had said last night, I went in there and I put a comment where in a lot of ways he's as bad as not standing for truth. He's as bad as Jesus is Lord. And
real quick. Referring to Jesus as Lord, please, Jesus, I've already warned you yesterday. No more Democrats killing baby shit. My moderators will put you in timeout and you'll just sit in obscurity until you leave, just like yesterday, dude. So you don't have to. That doesn't have to be that way. Just stop being a troll. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
No, you're all right. But I started a thread and we interacted in that. And I think it was Tom34B had started a thread about that double slit experiment. And we interacted in that. And, you know, we went back and forth, going hard at one another. And, you know, I mean, he tries to say he's above the fray and he doesn't, you know, try and get reactions out of people, which is not true. But so in one of those chats, I mentioned, you know, okay, well, yeah, we'll meet in a hangout somewhere. I said, but, and I wanted to screen share this and read it verbatim, but I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I wish I could help you on that.
Yeah, I'll have to figure that out for next time. But I had said something to the effect that, well, I'll try and set something up on the Raging Atheist channel. I'll try and set something up on Non Sequitur because I think that our conversation will be uncivil, and you know, that's not the kind of channel that James has. And the reason I asked that you are familiar with his channel, you know, okay, on his channel, if two debaters, if one of the interlocutors uses a curse word, he'll stop and he'll say, hey guys, you know, please don't do it. You know, he has.
Oh, yeah, I stopped myself when I did it the first time I was on there because I told myself I wasn't going to do it. But I went in mad at praise, so I knew it was going to eventually happen. So I had to, every time it happened, I had, sorry, James, sorry, knowing it was about to happen again. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so I do understand exactly what you're saying. Even in this chat yesterday was like the first time I saw, like, he was like, somebody said shit, and he was like, please, no cursing in the chat. And I'm like, where the fuck do you think you are? This is YouTube, dude. But I mean, that's his channel. You know?
Well, no, it's not in the chat. He did.
Well, yeah, yesterday he did, like, in the chat. Somebody said shit, and he came in the chat and said, please don't say curse words. And I'm like, whoa, this is YouTube. But all right, whatever. It's your channel, dog.
Well, and then later on, he had put in there that, you know, we can ask certain people, you know, or we can ask people not to swear, but he tells us mods don't delete or time people out.
All right. So yeah, maybe I don't think I was in that whole thing because yesterday was weird. I didn't feel good, so I'd watch it and kind of zone out and days off.
But so at any rate, you know, so James's channel is not like your channel or like not in that you don't mind if something turns into a dumpster fire. You don't mind if people use profanity. Okay?
I need to get graphics like Non Sequitur has for the dumpster fire shit, man. I really do.
You know, so that's all I was saying. I was just saying, you know, as far as how our conversation went in the chat underneath the video, that our conversation probably wouldn't be meant for modern day debates channel. And I wasn't trying to say, you know, well, James is better and well, Raging's an asshole, which is what he said last night in that.
Oh yeah, I see. I was kind of out of it with the conversation yesterday. I tried to be into it, and I think I got better the longer it went on. But so yeah, I need to go back and watch it. I haven't had a chance to go back and watch it. I've been studying, you know, 1600s all morning. Yeah, I need to go back and watch it, and definitely, like, yeah, if he took it like that, I definitely didn't take it like that. Because I completely understand what you're saying. You know, like, yeah, on James's channel, which is probably might be the reason why Messenger wants you to go on that, is to try to keep it civil. To where, you know, I wouldn't want y'all calling each other motherfuckers, but it's not like I've never done it before, so. You know, I as a moderator, I try to stay out of it. You know, like I think you guys were going at it Friday night, or maybe it was last weekend, and yeah, I try to stay out of it. Or no, it was Messenger and Jill, I think, was going at it, and I try to stay out of it. So yeah, that's just kind of my stance. Like, if people want to argue, I'm gonna let them argue. I mean, shit, it's not like I don't argue.
Well, I mean, I got a few things I'd like to get out, so
go for it, man. Yeah, it's your stage so far. The other guy must have got cold feet.
What's that?
Yeah, well, the Spectacular Anti-Theist was he reached out to me. He reached out to me on Twitter. He's like, here, check out my video. I checked it out. It was okay. I mean, new YouTuber needs to, he'll get better as he goes along. But then I saw this post on Twitter about flat earth shit. And I really wanted to ask him about that, because I'm not going to promote a flat earther. But it was pretty much saying he doesn't believe in it anymore. And I'm like, I just really was hoping he'd come and introduce himself, and I can kind of maybe clear up the whole flat earth thing that I saw from him.
I saw that in the title, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't identify as an anti-theist.
No, it's somebody else, and it's something that I've tried to do since I've done these live chats is give really small channels a chance to come on and promote their channel, and I want to do more of that, because I wish I had that, you know, a year and a half ago when I started the Raging Atheist, and I was in obscurity for a year until I started working on Matt Powell, you know, and that kind of brought me out of obscurity. And thanks to Cyrus, I actually know about the community now. I never knew about it. I never was interested in coming out of my bubble before.
So, yeah, I mean, not only I don't identify as an anti-theist, but I read that and I'm like, nor am I spectacular. So
yeah, and I used to identify as an anti-theist. I think I'm coming out of it.
Well, the reason that I don't identify as an anti-theist is because, as much as I don't like a lot about religion, I can see that there is value in it for some people. And especially the people, okay, say like in particular Sky Out, who likes to argue that morals can only come from God. You know, and he clarified himself on Modern Day Debate the other day, but these people that claim that their morals come from God and they are good people, and they're good people. If they're a good person, they say they get their morals from God. Well, I don't want them to give up God. Okay. Because if all of a sudden they became, you know, had the belief that there was no God, they might go out into the world and be immoral. So, you know, those type of people, I think they need the religion. There's other people that, you know, they get their only, and to use the term that was used when I was a Christian, religion is where they get their fellowship. You know, religion.
Dude, when I literally first started YouTube, it was a political channel, but it was a political channel that was a debate channel, to where I was an atheist, and the other person that I was on YouTube with at the time that was supposed to, the whole point of the channel was for me and this other guy to debate each other on politics and religion and shit. And he was a very fundamental young Christian, very young, had really, really long hair. We called him Jesus. It was funny. But like, his stance was literally, like, he literally said it. And I said, I probably still have it on my old channel somewhere. But he literally said that if he no longer believed in God, that he would commit suicide because there would no longer be a life worth living. Like, clearly said that shit, dude, and believes it. Like, not just saying it because he didn't, you know, just to say something. He truly means it if he says he were to ever give up his belief in God, that there would not be a life worth living, and he would just blow his brains out. And he has a gun. You know, he carries it around with him everywhere he goes. And man, it's just, to me, that's sad. It's sad. And please don't ever not believe in a God, dude. Please, you know.
It's sad, and it's kind of scary too.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, not to go into it, you know, too in depth. The bottom line is, I don't identify as an atheist because I can see some value in religion for some people.
Well, I'm getting really tired of pointing the finger. You know, like my Girl Defined videos, and even my MMA Jenkins videos. Although I do try to express some empathy towards her more than Girl Defined. But even my Coffee and Bible Time videos, I just erased my new Coffee and Bible Time videos. I just don't want to do it anymore. Being anti-theist is being against something, and that's really hit home with me. I don't want to be against anything. I want to be for stuff, you know, and that's what's bringing me out of anti-theism.
Well, and that's a good thing to do, to be for something, not against something.
Yeah, and I'm growing, man. You know, this shit happens, and you learn from it, and you move on. You know, so, but yeah, go for it. I know you got a lot of stuff to say, and I'm kind of sidetracking you. I'm feeling better today. I'm talkative.
Yeah.
Yesterday I wasn't so much.
Well, so anyway, and the funny thing is, now I'm in chat yesterday, and you and him are talking. And then we exchange a few messages in the chat, and then he starts going at me on air. And now he wants to sit there and say that, sending me messages like, oh, calm down, John. Gee, don't be so mad. Well, first of all, how you can get someone's emotional state from text on a screen is beyond me. Okay. He wants to say that I'm mad. And then he goes on to say, no, I'm not like that. I don't let my emotions get the better of me. So apparently he's a cyborg. He's not a human being. He doesn't let his emotions get the better of him. But so anyway, I left. I had some other things to do. I didn't want to listen to him anymore.
Well, and I want to make clear that I thought the same thing. Yesterday, I went out of my way not to call him out for some of the things that I would probably call out other people on. I'll be the same way with that Christian blogger when he comes on. But it's because I wanted a civil conversation, but I was thinking to myself, like, nobody's that calm, nobody's overcome it. He a couple times talked about my rage, and while I think I need to work on my rage and kind of leave it behind a little bit, I'm never gonna stop being me or stop being passionate about what I believe in, or stop being passionate with the words I use. I just really want to work on my rhetoric. And so, yeah, while he was saying those things, I didn't really want to go back on him hardcore and have disagreements in our first conversation. I could see that coming, through a series of conversations. But yeah, I just wanted to interject there that I was pretty much thinking the same things that you're talking right now. I just didn't really say it in the conversation.
Well, I mean, and the thing of it is too, okay, if you and me had set up a time, hey, John, come on my channel. We'll have a one-on-one, just you and me.
Yeah.
Okay. And you had promised me that. See, because it wasn't about you yesterday. Okay. What it was about was, now, if I was in the same situation he was, and I started talking about a particular person, and they were in chat, okay, and wanted to come on and defend themselves, well, even though we had a prior agreement to have a one-on-one conversation, I would say to you, hey, if you want, get that guy in here, okay? Because you're going to sit there and
I was waiting for him to say it's okay to bring you in. If he would have said that, I would have definitely brought you in.
Right, and that's why I say it's not on you, because you had made the prior promise. It was up to him to say, you know what, bring him in.
Yeah, and I did want to bring you in. I at least to clarify what he was saying. Excuse me. I had a big breakfast.
So he was, and so I left for a while, and then I come back like 20 minutes later just to check in before going to bed. 20 minutes later, or maybe even longer, and I click on your video again, and there he is talking about me again.
He went on for a while. I tried to get him off of it and try to defend you a little bit, and then he kept talking about you.
And he said, he said some pretty horrible things. As far as like this idea that, well, I don't know what it is about me that gets to John, like he thinks he's getting to me. I mean, maybe I remind him of an abusive stepfather in his past, and then he talks about.
I missed that shit. I might have been laughing or something to go along with the conversation. I need to go back and watch it.
And then a few minutes later, he says, I've been beating him up in chat, and it must be getting to him and everything. And I can't remember his exact words, but at some point, maybe the first time I was in there or the second time, he's talking about how he's trying to portray himself as above the fray. Well, John says these things trying to get a reaction out of me, but I'm so in control of my emotions, I'm not going to react, and I don't play that game. Well, I'll tell you what, you go look at the conversation and chat between the two of us. He absolutely tries to press people's buttons. Okay?
Yeah, and I do need to go look at that. And I told him I wanted to do that yesterday. So I'm going to try to make time and get that done today, because I do need to kind of read the interaction. And I think that I don't know, like I like the guy. I like his philosophy on Christianity. I at least find it more acceptable than most. But I definitely don't dig the conflict. I don't think there should be conflict if you're really open to an open exchange of ideas. Conflict comes with people that work from scripts and are ingenuous. You're standing for the truths of the world, and people like that, Sky Out and Praise and all of them, Darth Dawkins. But
the fact of the matter is, you go and you look at the video from last night. You look when me and him right after.
Yeah, because I wasn't really reading the chat at all yesterday. I need to get better at that.
When we first, interact in chat, and then he started talking about me on air. You go and you look at his body language. You look at his micro expressions, and this idea that he's not emotional, or that he.
And that might have bothered him, breaking the veneer. That might be why he dislikes you so much, is you're able to break that veneer that he tries to portray. As a former Buddhist, I would say anybody that tries to live without emotion is pretty much doing exactly what he said I was doing, which is trying to run away from emotion, trying not to acknowledge some emotion that they didn't like. I know a lot of people think that I can be irrational with my emotions sometimes, but I look at myself quite often, and I understand why I do the things that I do, why I react the ways that I act. I psychoanalyze myself constantly. I'll allow him to psychoanalyze me, but he's not telling me anything new if he's going to be accurate with his information.
Well, I mean, it's the whole idea of he's going to sit there and claim that he's getting to me, claim that I'm angry. Look, just because you refer to a certain person in a certain way doesn't mean that you're having an emotional response. And to look at text on a screen and decide that you can know what someone's emotional state is illogical. Okay. Okay. I'm sitting in my spare bedroom right now. Well, there's a chair right there. Here's a chest freezer. There's a set of shelves. Okay. I have no emotion over that. So if I say a person's a coward, or if I say that they're lying, you can say to yourself or make yourself believe that person's angry, but there's no way you can know that for sure reading text on a screen. Now, does that mean that if we meet face to face, that he won't be able to make me angry? I'm sure he could. Just as I'm sure I could make him angry if I wanted.
Anybody can make me angry.
Well, we've seen.
Yeah, sure. I should have done that a while ago, actually.
So the whole thing that started with us in your chat, not the live chat from last night, but under the first video you guys did, is he's trying to call me out on certain definitions. And in the thread that he was in with TomTom34B, he had TomTom34B started a thread by saying just like a one-sentence post to the effect that the double slit experiment's not supernatural. Well, and again, I wish I could screen share. So I got screenshots of all this, and I can't figure out what you do to share it. But I tried to explain to him in there. My response to their back and forth was that just because something is unknown does not mean that it's supernatural. And his statement was in that chat that anything that is unknown in human culture is supernatural. Well, that's not the definition of supernatural. Okay. If you don't know something, if you don't know the origin of something, if you don't know the source of something, if you don't know the causation of something, to arbitrarily label it supernatural is to say that you do know what the source of that unknown is. So what my point is that an unknown is an unknown. And to try and put a label on it, there you are saying that now it is not an unknown.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. And that's, I try to express that to him, because I just watched like 45 minutes of information on the double slit experiment going into the conversation. I meant to do it earlier, but I wasn't feeling well, and I had a messed up morning Friday morning, and life happens. So I didn't get to it. And then, what I did get to it, like, yeah, I'm very interested by it, but at the same time, it's not anything that's going to be what I would consider to be supernatural or proof of the supernatural so far. But I need to research it more,
And you're right, because that's the thing too, is up till this point, there is no empirical evidence that the supernatural even exists. But that is not to say that someday It may be proven to exist. Okay?
Yeah, and maybe it might even be this experiment that leads to that. But right now, yeah, from what I've seen so far, I'm not sold. I am interested in the whole future interacting with the present thing and protons being aware of being watched. But I think that, yeah, we have a whole lot of more research to do on it. You know, it's, from what I understand, this new approach to it is very, very new, and we're just beginning.
I mean, and the proof of it is, if you look through the course of human history, there are many phenomena that were attributed to the supernatural that, as science progressed, were proven not to be the supernatural. They were shown to have natural causation. You know, like I'm just off the top of my head, like, you know, centuries ago, eons ago, whatever, human beings thought that lightning was, you know, directly from God, or thunder was God, you know, or the sun was a god, you know. I mean, and as science progressed, we proved that those things were wrong, you know. So even now, even as advanced as we are compared to hundreds or thousands of years ago, you can't all of a sudden, you know, say that, well, we don't know something, so it's got to be supernatural, or it's got to be God. You can't do that. That's fallacious logic.
Yeah, yeah.
As we went through in this, you know, and this brings me back to that point about him pretending that he doesn't play that game. He doesn't try and say things to get reactions out of it. Well, when you go read that thread, you'll see he's calling me uneducated. He at one point he ends his post with, well, John, you know, go back to pizza delivery and loneliness. Well, now I take issue with that. Okay. And I called him out in that chat, and that chat thread about it. Okay. Well, what other groups of people do you have disdain for, Messenger? You know, you just use pizza delivery driver guy as a pejorative, as if someone who delivers pizzas is not, you know, it's not just as much of a human being as anybody else. Now, in my family, I have a brother-in-law. He owns a pizza shop in the town I live in. He's owned it for over 30 years. And my other brother-in-law works for him, delivering pizzas. Okay. So, you know, to use that as a pejorative and to portray yourself as, well, I'm a better human being. Well, guess what? In society, you need human beings to do all the jobs. Okay. And people, you know, a lot of, you know, conservative thinking type people like to pretend that some jobs, well, those are supposed to be starter jobs, or those are for teenagers and everything. But you want to know something? There's a lot of jobs that they think of as that way, but the math doesn't work out. Okay. There's adults with families doing those jobs. There's not enough teenagers on the planet to do those jobs. You know, so when you make a statement that, you know, you throw something out there like a pizza delivery driver or some, you know, menial manual job as a pejorative, as trying to get a reaction out of somebody, well, you're saying more about yourself than you are about the person you're trying to get the reaction out of. You're saying that you judge certain groups of people harshly. Okay. And that's what he did in that chat. And so this idea, you know, like I said, you go back, you read both of those threads, you'll see that his claim that he is above the fray, that he does not, you know, go out of his way to say things to try and, you know, get a response out of somebody, is pure BS. And that's why I call him a liar, you know, and that's why I called him a liar about that thing about where he's trying to imply that I'm saying you're an asshole because I want to, you know, come on your channel as opposed to James' channel. You know, that in my mind, that is him attempting to deceive.
Well, I'm getting a weird echo all of a sudden. Maybe I did something. No, not me. Did you accidentally unmute? There it goes. All right. So better. All right. So first off, I want to address.
Did you hear me though?
Oh yeah, I hear you. And I totally agree. I want to read the conversation, and if those things were said, then I think they should be addressed. Messenger's here now. If you would like him to come on.
Oh no, I do not want him to come on. He wouldn't let me come on last night. He does not come on until I leave.
All right, that's fair enough. I will try to make time for him to come on and kind of rebut. I have felt a little like I felt uncomfortable yesterday. I have felt a little uncomfortable, even though I wanted to give you a chance to speak. I know Reese C wanted to know what your educational background is. I think I know that answer. I'll speak for myself first. I don't have any educational background. I partied my way out of college, but I think I've read more books than most people, and I try to be educated as much as I can, and I'm gonna try to be more educated going forward and get away from response videos. Messenger is here. I really would like for you two to speak and get your grievances out face to face, and try to be somewhat respectful, raging atheist type of way. But if you're not comfortable with that yet, I did let. I mean, the conversation with him yesterday wasn't all about you. As you said, it was about 20-30 minutes maybe that he did speak of you.
Right, and it's not that I'm against talking to him one-on-one on a hangout. It's that he wouldn't allow me to come in last night, so I'm going to get to say my piece here without him being here to interrupt me. I mean,
and that's fine, and I'll let you finish real quick. But I did just get the Spectacular Atheist did just message me back, so I'm gonna let him come in. But I'm going to kind of tell him right now to come in and let you finish your piece real quick, okay?
Yeah, and the other thing to say too is, since he's in chat and he's listening, when we do meet one-on-one, it's not going to be a free-for-all. We're gonna meet under the conditions of a structured debate.
Yeah, and he mentioned that yesterday as well, and I'm all for that. I'll just play moderator, and we'll have a structured debate. You guys agree on the terms, you send me your terms, and we'll go by your terms for it. But go ahead.
All right, so just to get to the definitions, and this is something he brought up in the stream yesterday, and he in the chat was trying to say that and this is where he said I was uneducated and didn't know the definition of the term discourse, and he sent me a chart and I did look at it, but he said I didn't respond to him, so I must have got him, because he didn't respond. Well, I didn't need to respond to him. I said what I wanted to say. But as far as this idea that discourse is one way, he's right when you're using the verb of discourse, to discourse. But the noun definition of discourse is a back and forth conversation. And again, this is something that I was going to bring up on screen, and for the life of me cannot figure out how to put it on screen for you. But synonyms of discourse are debate, are dialogue, and I can't. I wish I knew more about this stuff. And the funny thing is, it's going to go away here in a few days. Hangout. I haven't figured Hangouts out yet, and now they're going to go away. And okay, I think I can read.
Well, even if they go away, I should be fine. It might take a little time of adjustment for me to get
like the
Zoom rolling, but yeah, I mean, I should be fine. I am seeing like it should be like a transitional period. I think it's Google Plus that is going away first, and then eventually Google Hangouts from YouTube accounts will go away for something different. It'll be some newer thing.
Okay, so here it is right here. I've got it up on my screen. Discourse, noun, written or spoken communication or debate. Synonyms: discussion, conversation, dialogue, communication. Now, if you go down to the verb definition of discourse, he's right. Okay. Synonyms: pontificate, talk, lecture, sermonize, preach. That's one way. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the idea that he said discourse cannot be used in the usage of a back and forth conversation, wrong. He's wrong.
Now, I pretty much said the same thing to Darth Dawkins. He kept saying we were having a conversation. I'm like, I might be yelling at you, but it's still a conversation. But go ahead, John. Spectacular Atheist should be coming in, but I told him to kind of let you finish. I'm going to check on my daughter real quick, get us something fresh to drink, but go ahead. I should still be able to hear you.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
And now I can't. there we go. Trying to bring this off. So he leaves me on my own here. That's awesome. But so at any rate, we went back and forth in chat over this. That he's trying to say that I was misusing the word discourse. Nothing could be further from the truth. He was right that one of the usages of discourse is the one he said, a one-way communication. But the other usage is that it can be a dialogue. It can be communication back and forth. The other definition I wanted to cover is, and this wasn't anything he spoke of yesterday. This is something he said in the live chat on Modern Day Debate. Messenger made the claim that not all truth is accurate. Now, I knew right away that that was wrong. Truth by definition is accurate. If a particular point is inaccurate, it cannot by definition be the truth. It doesn't matter how long, it doesn't matter whether you believe it's the truth. It doesn't matter if humanity as a whole has operated under the assumption that a particular point is the truth for centuries. If it's not true, if it's found to be not true, it was always not true. The truth is always accurate. Now, I am an amateur when it comes to anything, philosophical. Okay, I know some stuff. But I ran this by people that I know that know things a lot better than I do, and one of them was Steve McRae, who Knock.
Well, I mean, he's. I'm just now really meeting him personally. He reached out to me on Twitter, and I'm the same. Like I don't have a formal education, but I do try to check myself with people that do, or get a lot of my information from people that do. So, I mean, I think that there are ways, if you don't have a formal education, to still be quite intelligent. So, yeah, I just wanted to.
And just that you reminded me, just to answer Reese's question, as far as my educational background, I'm a high school graduate, and I did 2 years or a little less than 2 years in a community college from my hometown. Did not get a degree. So there it is. Yeah. But, that's another thing that that Messenger, likes to play up, that he wants to try and imply that he's superior to other people because he did get a college education, and in some ways he's correct. There's, I'm sure,
I definitely respect his educational credentials.
Yeah, well, I mean, and there's certainly subjects that he could talk on, he could pontificate on, that he would be light years ahead of me. There's no doubt about that. But this idea that he is, as a whole, intellectually superior to someone because he has a college degree is logically fallacious. But at any rate, I mentioned to Steve McRae in a hangout that a person had said the truth is not always accurate, and we had a very short discussion about it. But basically, that contention is false and it's ludicrous. And, I see that the Spectacular Anti-Theist here is in the room now, and I don't want to take away from him. I'm just going to end it right there. I feel ill-prepared because I had all these screenshots and was going to put things up on the screen, and I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Well, and I'll work on that too. I'll figure it out, and that way when you actually have your debate with Messenger, then you can do that.
Well, right, and I think it might even be easier in Zoom, but
yeah, and I'm going to start working with that because I have it on my computer. I've just never looked at it on my computer. I had it on my phone to go on Services channel, and so yeah, like I just really need to start looking at it.
I mean, the thing is I'm ignorant of it, So to me, it's rocket science, but really when it comes right down to it, it's probably so simple that as soon as I figure it out, I go, oh man, why in the hell couldn't I figure that out? But so I'll just end it here. I'm not gonna do like he did and go on for, you know, a half hour. Well, he's not here to defend himself. You know, that's the game he plays. I don't play that game. And we'll have a structured debate sometime in the future, and you know, we'll figure it all out. And I'll just say this to put a pin in this topic. Anybody that's listening, you know, if you happen to have the job that you're a pizza delivery driver, the messenger reveals thinks you're a scumbag. So,
well, we'll see what he says in response to that. Like, you know, I definitely would like to reiterate that, you know, I've spent my life as a server and a bartender. You know, I know a lot of people don't like AOC right now, but a year ago she was a bartender, and now she's a congresswoman in Washington D.C. So yeah, that's my stance on that. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on and voicing your grievances. Yeah, I'll probably bring on Messenger after we talk to Spectacular here for a little bit. And let a messenger respond, and we'll set up this debate for you guys, and then you guys will have to interact and come to terms with the rules of the debate, and then let me know, and we'll make sure I'll follow those as moderator.
Yeah, AOC's a great little dancer too.
And I think she's absolutely gorgeous, but that's just me as a heterosexual man.
Well, so am I staying, or are you?
You can stay if you would like, but I will be bringing on Messenger fairly soon. So yeah, you're more than welcome to stay. But yeah, here soon I'm gonna have to let Messenger respond a little bit, and set up the debate with.
Let me ask you this, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your channel. Why do you need to give him a chance to respond right now? He got to go off for a half hour last night. I'm responding to him, so now he gets to come on for a second time and talk smack about me when I'm not around.
Oh, we're not gonna. I'm gonna keep the talking smack down to a minimum. I'll let him respond, maybe to like the whole pizza delivery thing, and we've been going for about 45 minutes now. I mean, you know, I'm a little torn on it, but I would like to give him a chance to respond. I mean, I could always, you know, I could end the stream after Spectacular Atheist and kind of bring Messenger on to set up the debate. But
I'm not balking at the idea. I'm just letting my opinion be known. I feel as if you know, he said some things about me in the stream yesterday. I responded to those things.
But yeah, we've definitely covered a lot more than we got into yesterday. And I would definitely need to check out the conversation from yesterday to kind of recall it all accurately, because I'm a little fuzzy brained on it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we may have been on for, you know, 40 minutes or something like that, but I wasn't talking the whole time.
No, it's probably more about 30 minutes. It's probably been about equal time.
But you know, my druthers, my preference would be set up something when we're both on, since we both have had a chance to talk. But if you want to bring him on, he's free to say whatever, he's free to say whatever he wants. You know, he can pretend that it affects me. It doesn't affect me. I mean, it's something that we can address when we meet up with one another. But if he wants to come on and say some more stuff, that's fine.
Well, I just think it's fair. Like we I don't know. Like I would definitely like to keep it down to not griping so much about you, because like I said, I like both of you guys. I enjoy talking to both of you guys. I would like to try to play peacemaker and get the grievances out in the air, and then, you know, let you guys, hopefully through debate, the power of speech could come together and at least find some common ground. That would be my hopes. But I am the raging atheist. If it becomes a dumpster fire, it becomes a dumpster fire, and I'll sit here and eat some popcorn and watch.
Nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned dumpster fire. But,
yeah, you know, especially if it's not me this time.
Well, yeah. Yes, you've partaken in some dumpster fires, that's for sure. Now.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Well, so
I'm sure there'll be plenty more in the future.
I'm gonna let me hang out for a little bit longer, because I want to hear from the Spectacular Anti-Theist here.
And, I'm interested.
And then I'll duck out after a little bit, and if you want to bring if you want to bring on the messenger reveals and his emotionalist, not letting anybody get to him persona, then.
Well, and that's why I want to bring him on, because projection is strong with emotion, and I understand, but and that's why I wanted to bring you on yesterday, and especially I wanted to have the stream yesterday, and it just I felt like crap. Like even watching a modern day debate and non sequitur, when I decided not to stream, I just felt like crap and couldn't even really get into the chat. I made a few, but my heart just wasn't into it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see, because I really don't have that much time. I still haven't gotten the text from my daughter's friend's parents. So yeah, and I'm dealing with stuff. I'm gonna have to call into work tonight. I don't have my car, so yeah, I got to do all that stuff too. But I want to meet the Spectacular Atheist. He reached out to me on Twitter.
Anti-Theist.
Anti-Theist, yeah, a bit of a difference. He's a young YouTuber, so come on in, Spectacular Anti-Theist, to tell us about yourself and your channel. Tell my audience where they can find you.
You might be muted.
Yeah, you could be muted. If you can't unmute yourself, you might have to go out and come back in. Hear you a little bit. All right.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, maybe he'll be able to fix it. He is a new YouTuber, so this might be a first-time thing for him. Take some balls, You
can click on his icon too, and if maybe you have him muted.
I don't think so. I do now. It's not letting me do nothing. He is muted, but I can't do nothing. Oh, that sucks. You can try again, man. I'm not sure what's going on with you. There you are. See, says you're.
Okay, it just says the Raging Atheist muted. It came up on my screen. It said that.
Can you speak?
I think I hear him.
I hear a little bit.
I hear like his chair squeaking or something.
I think he's having audio issues. Yeah, I accidentally muted him, and then I think I unmuted him. Trying to make it work.
Okay, now it says I muted him, and I'm trying to unmute him. Yeah, I guess it's your Hangout, so.
It says he's muted, but I can't do anything about it.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Okay.
What's up, man?
Okay, so bit of an audio technical issue. Yeah, I ran into this the last time I tried to record a video. I guess I made a bad decision and went ahead and posted a video without watching it. And the atheist rationale pointed out to me that it was chipmunking. And so, yeah, I guess that there must have been something to do with that happening here.
Oh, yeah, it happens to all of us, man.
Yeah. Okay, so it was kind of an issue. The last video I recorded that I posted, you pointed out that there was a couple cuts.
Yeah, I've done it before. I just wanted to make you aware of it if you hadn't seen it.
Yeah. The reason I did that was because when I had been recording videos for longer than a certain amount of time, the audio just started, I don't know, doing some weird stuff. So I just recorded it in small little bits and then just kind of strung it all together.
Yeah. I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah. And there was a couple times I just went like cut. And anyway, yeah, that video, yeah, I guess I posted it and
it was a good video. It was very informative.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thanks. Yeah, because something that doesn't really seem to get talked about very much in the sort of atheist community is old Earth creationism. They tend to focus on the young Earthers, but I think the old Earthers have got some issues too. That
I definitely do too.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
the theistic evolutionists, I don't think that there's much you can do to touch them, except for maybe criticizing their belief in God. But scientifically, you know, they accept pretty much everything. But there's a couple other segments that don't accept evolution, but accept the age of the Earth and stuff. And you can definitely try and get to them scientifically. Yeah, it's just another thing I did where I tried to sort of reach out into a very niche thing was Mark Sargent, his Flat Earth Clues series. For some reason, it seems like no debunker had ever really touched that specific series. I mean, some people have sort of gone into Mark, but not really until he did that thing at the conference. It wasn't until then that I started seeing people like talking about him. But his original series that kind of brought him into the YouTube spotlight, or the Flat Earth spotlight specifically, it was his Flat Earth Clues series, and it was pretty terrible. It's factually, yeah, but the thing is, he put on a sort of inflection, and the way that he sort of presented himself, it was like he was some kind of I don't know, like a spy or something that was like had infiltrated something, and like he was revealing information to all the masses and stuff. And it was I think it sort of gives some people the impression that like, oh, I'm in a sci-fi movie and I can be I can, you know, we don't know the truth, and I know the truth, and all that. And that kind of manifests in the fact that his version of Flat Earth is kind of different from some of the other people's, because he almost acts like he believes in like aliens instead of God, because I don't think he's religious. It's like he talks about how there's the creators, and he doesn't think they've revealed themselves to us, and the dome is sort of this mechanical thing, and beyond the dome there could be, you know, this advanced civilization that like invented us and is trying to experiment with us. And it's it's kind of a rabbit hole. You know, he's a rabbit hole in of himself.
I try to stay away from the flat earthers.
Yeah, me too.
Blow me away. I was watching Non Sequitur last night and just trying not to bang my head against the wall.
I got really upset when I listened to the Non Sequitur show respond to Mark Sargent, because I guess Steve McRae sent an email to Mark, and he does his little podcast type thing. You know, it's a Strange World, and he responds to emails. And he responded to Steve's email, and he was like, "You guys are terrible people, and you're so unfair." And and I don't know, that just kind of pissed me off, because it made me realize what a disingenuous person he is. Like I always just kind of assumed, okay, he's kind of a dork who likes to feel like he's in a sci-fi movie. But no, I think he's actually just a fraud. Maybe I was just naive. I don't know.
I'm unfamiliar with him. So maybe that's what I saw on Twitter. It had me a little sketchy. But
yeah.
That's good to know. Like I'll have to check him out. Like the one flat earther I've become familiar with, unfortunately, just because I've seen a couple of debates with him, and he really struck me as a douche, is this Nathan guy. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking. I'm trying to get away from response videos, but kind of thinking about going raging on him.
Yeah.
You know, but I try to stay away from flat earthers and incels. Incels get me emotional, and I say shit I don't mean. So I try to stay away from them as well. But yeah. It's always good to have young new talent try to come in and tackle stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, you really identify as anti-theist, so you're against all theism?
I would say I kind of have mixed feelings. That's the reason I changed it to just atheist on my Twitter. But in general, I would say I'm not in favor of religion. So yeah, I guess I could kind of fit into that box.
Yeah, I was actively anti-theist, like right up until now. Like I'm still like come into terms with. I mean, I probably shouldn't be anti-theist so much and try to be more positive and stuff like that. You know.
I will actively argue with certain people about it if I think that they're ready, because there are certain people who I think that they'll just get emotional, and I don't think it would be even worth it to try and argue with them. I'm
John,
hearing an echo.
Yeah, I think John, maybe you came back in and you got a playback.
Yeah, I don't think I'm hearing it anymore.
All right, yeah, he probably took care of it.
Okay. So yeah, there are certain people who I think are kind of in a mindset where they're willing to sort of debate the merit of their beliefs, while there are others who just kind of have their beliefs, and if you try to question it, they'll get kind of.
Oh yeah, I've run into it.
Yeah, and it's funny because those two sides kind of manifest a little bit in my grandparents. Because my grandfather is very much willing to debate me on the issue, which I know it's a little silly because I'm debating my grandfather, but my grandmother is very much not in that kind of mindset.
Yeah, and that's a question that I have for, I think, all anti-theists, because I know with me, definitely my anti-theism, my anger at it's especially the Christian faith stems from interactions with family members, having my ideas and my voice suppressed for years upon years upon years. You know, I was just going through a phase. I couldn't talk about what I wanted to talk about. I had to pretty much pretend that what they were saying were okay and couldn't put in my input. And I think that's what made me anti-theist, you know, and I'm just more interested in, and you're kind of saying that, you know, it was family influenced as well.
Yeah.
I want to have like a lot of anti-theists on and really just put that question to them. Like, is this like, does the majority of us have this? And is this something that we all need to kind of overcome to come to a more positive place? Which is my goal. I want to get to a more positive place. So, you know, I've well documented what I've been going through lately. And you know, I need to take responsibility for everything that I've done to cause it. So yeah, it's time to change. It's time to evolve. It's time to stop pointing the finger at people and start pointing the finger at arguments. And that's where I'm at. So, I mean, I definitely don't want to, if you identify as anti-theist, it's your road. You're going to travel. You're still very, very young. So you've got a long road ahead of you to travel.
Actually, I could probably just do a quick little recap of how I got to this point.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So when I was raised a young Earth creationist, mostly because of influence from my grandparents, and I'm not upset at them necessarily because I think they were just telling me what they believed. But when I was 12, I got really into it. So like I had a smartphone, and I had Facebook, and I just like followed like Answers in Genesis and Ken Ham and Rush Limbaugh and stuff, and I just got really deep into this sort of conservative, politically conservative Christianity, you know, fundamentalist Christianity.
Mm.
And then I turned 13, and I was in Washington. All this stuff happened. I eventually, when I was, I don't remember when this was, but I watched the remake of Cosmos.
Oh yeah,
with, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
They're supposed to be making season 2 now.
Yeah, they are. But anyway, that actually was the first time I even really understood what evolution was. Because, you know, like there's mutations and they sort of branch off and all that. And at that point, I got to where I was like, maybe this actually does kind of make sense in the back of my mind. And eventually it just, you know, the gears.
We lost you. I could totally make a joke right now.
Well, I'm not sure what he's talking about when he says chipmunk.
Yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're back now.
Okay. I just had to unplug my mic and plug it back in.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like God was going to be judging you for something there for a second, but we'll let you get away with it.
Okay. Where was I? Okay, so like 2015. back in like 2015. I got to a point, I looked up some stuff, and you know, I was just sort of decided I was going to be more open-minded about it, and eventually I stumbled across the YouTube channel Stated Clearly, and that's kind of the point at which I realized, yeah, I actually do believe in this, and it makes sense and all that, and you know, it wasn't long before eventually I just got to a point where it was like, yeah, the God stuff doesn't really make that much sense anymore, and I pretty rapidly changed my beliefs. It was I think it had built up to that point, but once I got to the sort of threshold, I pretty rapidly got to a change.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too. Like it was really rapid. Once I came to the conclusion that there was no God, I changed fairly immediately.
Yeah. For me, the linchpin was evolution in the age of the Earth and stuff like that. So, you know, because I pretty much had based my entire belief system on the young Earth idea. Like, okay, so Ken Ham's model is true, and once that came apart, everything came tumbling down, in my opinion. So,
yeah, I'm kind of hoping that for young Guzman, because he's so invested in that, and like that's kind of what it did. You know, I always said that the thing for me that really made me start thinking about whether or not there's a God was the dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs predated humans. I was taught that from a very early age. Matt Powell would blame my schooling. But, you know, that was always the question that it was the debunking of that Southern Baptist young earth mentality that I had that I just couldn't accept it anymore. So I'm totally with you on that.
And it just kind of continued from there. I discovered many YouTube atheism was a big thing for me. And I discovered channels like The Amazing Atheist, and I don't remember many others, honestly. Oh yeah, Dark Matter, 2525, and I just kind of progressed.
I love Dark Matter.
And also a political channel I stumbled across that kind of had something to do with my political realignment as well, because I stopped being politically conservative, was the YouTube channel Secular Talk.
I love Kyle. Yeah, Kyle's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's basically how I turned. And then eventually come 2016, I started the YouTube channel I have now. And I haven't been very successful until recently because I don't know. My whole shtick was to try and recreate the format that Kyle uses, and I would just like upload videos of myself reacting to news clips, and it didn't go so well. It wasn't until recently when I discovered when he was still beginning, I found the Atheist Rationale, and we're actually you know, sort of online friends at this point because I message him fairly frequently on like Facebook and stuff. And I don't know if I assume you've interacted before, but I'm not sure.
With who? The
Atheist Rationale.
Oh yeah. He's been on my channel a couple times. He's been a long time commenter.
Yeah, but I've sort of took notice of him right when he was starting. He had like two or three videos, I think. So
yeah, he's in the chat right now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, giving you props.
Hey, Spectacular Anti-Theist. It was nice to meet you. I'm going to, as soon as I get off here, I'm gonna go over and sub to your channel.
Thanks.
Yeah, I did put his channel information in the link below for anybody that would like to go and sub to the Spectacular Anti-Theist.
But I've got some family obligations I have to go take care of.
Yeah, I appreciate it, John. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to having a messenger on. I might let him come on real briefly because I'm going to have to wrap this up shortly. 3:30, I do go on with Jill, and I need to check on my daughter, get her some lunch. So
let me just say one more thing before I dip out.
All right, go for it.
And you might see my icon for a minute before it seems like when I'm on mobile and I go to leave a hangout, I got to go into my apps and force stop the app. I haven't figured out how to leave a damn hangout yet. But I just want to real quick, something that Messenger said a little while ago in live chat. He said if it didn't affect him, speaking to my having stated that he doesn't have an effect on me, if it didn't affect him, he wouldn't need to respond. If he didn't care, then he wouldn't whine about me coming on. Oh, Messenger, you mean like you whined about me coming on last night? You know, this is the kind of stuff that he's right. This does get to me because he's being completely disingenuous. He whined about me coming on last night. I asked to come on, and he said, "Oh no, John, you're not coming on here. This is a one-on-one tonight. You don't get to come on." And then he's going to talk shit because I didn't want him to come on. I mean, pot calling the kettle black. Are you serious, dude?
Well, this is why I want you guys to talk, because I really want you guys to air your grievances against each other and do it and debate, you know, and allow each other to speak and really deal with it. You know, I know it's been going on for a while, so if we can finally squash it, let you guys have your chance at each other, I'll get the popcorn ready.
He projects so much, you know, like he wants to call people out on behavior that he displays himself. But at any rate, hey, thanks for having me on. And
anytime, John, you're always welcome, man.
I think I figured this out. So I'm on my laptop as opposed to I'm usually always on mobile. So if I hit the big X, that probably gets rid of me. So
yeah, I think so.
Have a good day.
Yep, you too, man.
All righty then.
All right, yeah, you go ahead, Spectacular. I am going to shoot Messenger a link. We'll let him come in and respond for a little bit as well, but we'll let you finish doing what you're going to do. I do have to wrap up, I'd say probably 20, 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Just to give me some time to get my daughter some lunch before I have to go deal with Jesus is Lord, the troll of trolls.
Oh, dear. Yeah. But anyway, that's just basically my my sort of origin story in terms of coming to YouTube. So yeah. I don't know. Do you are you aware of Richard Carrier? Kind of a random question.
Oh yeah. I've watched a couple of his debates. He's been highly recommended. I hear people say he's one of the better debaters, especially when it comes. I think he's a mythicist. I tend to think that Matt Dillahunty and Arn Ra are probably the best debaters I've seen, but I've only seen a couple of Carrier's debates.
Yeah. Well, something that needs to be bared in mind is that certain debaters, I think, only work when they're in their specific subject that they're well versed in, because I think Richard is really good at debating when he's talking about mythicism and, like, you know, Jesus's existence. But when it comes to other stuff, I'm not convinced he's the best.
I think that's probably what I heard is he might be considered the best when it comes to mythicism, maybe.
Yeah.
So that might be what I heard.
And like with Aaron, I really only pay attention to him mostly because of his evolution and like versus creationism stuff, not so much his, you know, whether or not God exists necessarily.
Yeah, I like Aaron because he rages.
Oh yeah, he definitely does. Which speaking of Aaron, I actually made some. Never mind. But I think Aaron's pretty cool. So yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Him and Matt Dillahunty by far to me are the best atheist debaters out.
Yeah, they are. And Fundamental Falsehoods of Creationism was a decent series as well.
Yeah, I'm still catching up on him. He was one of the first YouTubers I actually started watching 4 or 5 years ago when I started watching YouTube. But I got away from him, started watching The Amazing Atheist, Cult of Dusty, and am just now getting back to Arn Ra, basically because he mentioned me, and I'm like, holy shit, Arn Ra talked about the Raging Atheist. Let me go watch Arn Ra videos.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Non Sequitur show is a show I've definitely enjoyed because they kind of, you know, I like the sort of just have on different people because it kind of adds some sort of diversity to the episodes.
I love their platform. You know, I'm kind of mixed on the recent controversy with them, but I do like their platform and what they're doing over there.
Yeah. What's the recent controversy? I may not have heard about it.
They had JF on debating.
Oh God.
So yeah, it was a dumpster fire with no sanity in it, and it's Godless Iowan called it out, and it's been a big Twitter battle, and you know, I feel bad for Godless, and you know, I kind of also, I'm the raging atheist. I have pointed the finger at the evil, so I completely understand where non sequitur is coming from. So I'm completely stuck in the middle of that argument. Yeah. Try to kind of stay out of it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. All JF, I've only ever seen him on The Drunken Peasants from a while ago.
Yeah, and that's what everybody says. Like, the first time I ever saw the dude was on Non Sequitur that night, and I'm like, "Fuck, yeah. This dude is a douche."
Yeah. Yeah, he's I don't know. I'm not gonna comment on him that much, but
I would definitely have him on my channel, but I would think long and hard on it, and I would have to study for months before I did it. You know, because he knows his arguments, and he's had months, and you know, it's pretty much all he talks about is his white supremacist bullshit. So if you're gonna really go at a person like that, then you damn well better take the time to research the arguments and come at him with rational truth. But yeah, I would definitely have him on my platform, but I would make sure I crush the fuck out of that dude.
Yeah.
There would be no being hungover with JF like I was with Matt.
Did you see the one where it was Aaron Ra defeats creation without saying a word?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah,
because the guy that they had on who was supposed to debate him just sounded completely. He sounded drunk, so you know, it was very entertaining.
Well, that would put it on an even par, because I think Aaron Ra's best when he's drunk. So.
No, he wasn't even coherent though, so it was entertaining though. Because Kyle got really angry about it, but I
do remember that episode. Yes,
I wish they had kept it going though, because I just found it entertaining as hell. It was
that was when he came in with his friend, and they were like obviously out on the night partying, and I remember that.
When Kyle would like start criticizing him, be like, "Fuck you, Kyle." I'm surprised. Like Kyle really got angry at him, and I don't know, but everyone else seemed to be entertained by it. So
yeah, well, I'd get pretty angry if somebody's like, "Fuck you, Nakasuchi."
Yeah, yeah.
But so we do have a messenger back, and I don't have too much time. Everybody, please go and subscribe to Spectacular Anti-Theist. Anytime you want to come in, like, I'm going to have open conversations next weekend for sure. I'm thinking about maybe trying to do like a 2-hour conversation 1 or 2 times a week in the middle of the week. I got to work out my times. Real quickly, Messenger, do you, you know, I let John bash on you, and he's probably mad at me for letting you come on, but I really want to give you a chance to respond to what you heard so far. I know you need to go back and watch the beginning, but it sounds like I got him to agree to come on for a debate with you.
I don't know what he wants to debate, or
neither do I.
I know he wants something structured, because he doesn't want to have the back and forth and have me like corral him into a corner, kind of like I do with Jill. So I'm fine with format if that works better for him.
Yeah, I mean that's what he said he wants. We'll see. Because to me, like, if you really want to settle a disagreement, then a debate isn't probably the best way to go about it. No, if he wants to have a debate format, we'll do that, I guess. But I think I'm probably more on your side with that when it comes to the whole debate thing. I would much rather have a civil, or not. It doesn't even really have to be civil, but just a discourse back and forth. If you're going to air grievances and talk shit about the other person, let the other person do the same thing back.
Yeah, let's have a dialogue. And again, I mean, he can either do what Jill does, which is ignore what you say and try to talk over you, or he can actually try to understand where I'm coming from, which it doesn't seem like he does, but
Well, hopefully he will. Like I said, I like both of you guys. I think you're both honest characters. I think you should be able to disagree and still come together and get along, and maybe doing it like voice to voice, face to face. Maybe that will help.
Yeah, it's just, people can have an opinion about, theology, about atheism, about whatever their beliefs are. They can disagree with me. When people make personal attacks in the comments is when I go test their character. And he's 100% right. I did things purposely to show him how imperfect he is.
And I do the same damn thing.
I mean, if you sit there, if you sit there and tell me that you're above things or you're so intelligent, I'm going to put you to the test. And that's what I did with him. It wasn't for any other purpose. It wasn't to be a good human being. It wasn't to educate him. It was to sit there and put him in a place of, you're not as good and healthy as you think you are. So why don't you be a little more open to listen to other people's thoughts and ideas? So I just want to say that's the intent. I'll touch on the point where he said that I kind of, said that he didn't want to go on James's channel because James is a nice guy, but I guess that makes you an asshole. I was straw manning him there. He didn't call you an asshole. I was straw manning him by like saying, well, if James is a nice guy, what does that make you? And then I picked something derogatory. I know you didn't take offense to it, but
yeah, I didn't even think. I don't even think I noticed it at the time until
it was to get a rise. It was to get a rise out of him, and clearly it did.
Yeah. I mean, and I do the same thing with I get trolls come in. I go out of my way to disrespect them. I shut a troll down not last week. I mean, I shut her down hard, And after I trolled her back, she couldn't believe what I just said to her. She's like, well, I guess I couldn't expect anything more from you. And I'm like, no, you can't. And she never responded again. Like that. I do the same thing, man. If you're going to troll me or get disrespectful with the conversation with me in any way, I'm going to go out of my way to make it worse. That's what I do. So I can't knock anybody for doing the same, and I'm sure if I looked at the conversation, like I said, I'm going to do, at least what I could find of it. I know you mentioned that it started over on Scholar Fiction, I think. Yeah. So,
and I might have misremembered who he was because I got into it with like probably 2 or 3 guys on Skylar's chat after my live interview with him, and I thought he was the one who delivered pizzas. So I was just taking a jab at him. I was like, well, enjoy your, because there was some guys like, well, I'm happy completely being alone, and I deliver pizzas on the side for a thing on my bike, and I was like, well, enjoy your pizza delivery and your loneliness, then, if that's what makes you happy. And so I thought he was the same dude. So if that didn't apply to him, then he took it all out of context, like I was dissing pizza delivery people or putting down people with jobs that I thought was beneath me. But I never put anybody down for anything they do to earn money for their families or their life. So
and it's all about context, and when you're going back and forth with people, you can't really take it out of the context of you're going back and forth with somebody,
And I think he misses that point. Is he and I are having a knockdown, drag out fight, and I'm not fighting fair.
Well, yeah, I was definitely uncomfortable because I mean he went at you. I would say probably harder than you went at him yesterday.
But that's okay.
And I was getting a little uncomfortable with it. I was trying to be agreeable, but at the same time, I was agreeing with some of the things he had to say. I'm really interested to see you guys interact with each other, and I'm going to try to stay out of it as much as I can.
He has a right to his opinion, and I think it's awesome that you give people a platform regardless. And I'm the same way. If you want to come on my channel and share whatever thought, viewpoint, whatever you have, awesome. You want to sit there and come in and disagree with me or argue with me or tell me I'm wrong and why you believe it is, cool. Don't come there and make it your own platform like Jill does. Jill goes out there and just spams people's channels. He's not trying to do anything other than create a diversion from what they're trying to share or do. And I think that's a big difference.
And there's a huge difference in Jill when he's in the chat and Jill when he's on the channel. I mean, not a big difference because it's still reprehensible, like I've said many times, but it's definitely, he's not really coming on and screaming, all Dems are killing babies. He might mention it and then I'll have to shut him down on it and he'll move on to something else. But the Jill in the comment section is, I find him highly, highly different. And I'm pretty sure I'm walking into a trap going onto his channel. We'll see who's going to be there to ambush me.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I figured out that this Koreg Nightwolf dude blocked me for some reason in chat. Like, I don't even remember any interactions with that guy. But I noticed it on Modern Day Debates that he had me blocked. And then when I came in here, I see his chat, and I'm like, okay, when you're a moderator, you can't be, you get to see all the posts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's probably because you're a moderator. I know Korag has been a long time commenter.
Yeah, is he an atheist or is he an anti-theist? Is he agnostic?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think I did notice him say like if he blocked you, it must have been like a long time
Well,
ago.
he would believe in some of the things John said, so he was like, "Well, yeah, if he did that, I'm glad I blocked the douchebag." I'm like, I mean, I guess if what I represent is douchebaggery to somebody, then all right, cool.
Well, I think we know chat can be vicious.
Yeah, and for me, like, it's not that I don't feel emotion, or I feel emotion just like every other human being. I don't let it intensify into secondary emotions that serve me no value. And being from my background in psychology and clinical counseling, I'm a huge believer that intense emotions are only valuable in life-threatening situations. So if you're letting anger, bitterness, if you're letting anxiety, depression, if you're letting terror and those things come into your life in non-life-threatening situations, it impairs your ability to think and reason in the moment. So what I've learned to do is have healthy cognitive viewpoints and thoughts, learn to empathize and really see people from the inside, and then those intense emotions stop coming. So it's not like I repress them, like I start to feel angry and then I bury it down, or I start to feel anxious and I bury it down or replace it. Those things don't happen because of the way that I view others and view myself. So it's not that I don't feel emotion. It's just that I've learned how to manage my emotions in a healthy way. So I just wanted to clarify that. And other than that,
I think that's probably like a better explanation, or at least. And yesterday I was so fuzzy on the conversation. I really need to go back and watch it through. And I wasn't all there yesterday. I ended up.
You said you weren't feeling well.
Yeah, I ended up canceling my stream that I was going to do later. Which is why I'm doing a stream right now. so
that's cool. So yeah, I didn't have anything else to say about what he said. I mean, the comments, like he said, are there. So if you guys want to read the comments, go read the comments. Like his interpretation of it is different than my interpretation. And I did say that, yes, the supernatural is the things that are unknown culturally. And what I mean by that is we haven't scientifically proved something yet. It is a phenomenon. It is a supernatural thing because we can't explain it. And he's right. When science does eventually explain stuff, the supernatural part of it goes away. But he must be equating that supernatural involves God. And I never said that or implied that. So he's drawn an assumption based on using that word. So
yes,
like if I say a miracle happens, does a miracle necessarily mean that God made it happen? I'm not saying that it does. Miracles are the unexplained.
Like I said, I'm still out on it. Like I find it fascinating. I want to research it more because I think it's very interesting.
You're talking about the double slit experiment, which is still a phenomenon in the metaphysics or quantum physics world that people just don't get. It wasn't metaphysics; it's quantum physics. So I spoke there.
Yeah, it's interesting as hell. So yeah, I'm gonna email. Like I do want to before we even have maybe before the debate between you and John, definitely by the debate with you and John, I'm going to study the Book of Enoch like I told you I would. But I want to have another one-on-one with you just based on your
allergy.
Well, no, your work with addiction, and that's why I brought you on the other night, and we had already veered off of that subject by the time you came on, so we never really got to talk about that. So I would like to have like maybe an hour-long conversation with you on that.
That'd be cool. And you know another person that would be fun to have in that conversation if you can get her on is Shannon Cube, because she has a lot of passion for that type of stuff as well. I don't know if she'd be interested in doing that or willing to do that, but if she's willing to come on and have a dialogue regarding that might be a fun conversation.
I'll reach out to her. And I think the topic we were talking about at the time was like suicide amongst atheists and drug abuse and that kind of thing. So I'll reach out to her. I don't really know her at all. I'm on Twitter a little bit, but I've watched a lot of her stuff, and maybe she would be interested in that. So I'll definitely try. I do want to address something that Atheist Rationale said. And I think he might be right about it. I don't want to put out conspiracy theories, but I have noticed SJ has been interacting a lot with RPR, especially Apology Supreme. So I just kind of I think Atheist Rationale might be onto something there, dog. But yeah, I do need to get off of here. I got about an hour and a half or 2 hours until Jill time.
Enjoy that.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. And then I got to try to take a nap and I got to try to go to bed halfway through my day because I'm not going to work tonight, so I can wake up halfway through the time I usually sleep and try to go get my car tomorrow because my muffler fell off. So,
right.
Yeah,
he tried to drag me into that 3:30 today too, and I'll be with family, so any like afternoon my time Pacific time.
He tried to bring you into it too.
Yeah, you'd watch one of my videos he posted on it, trying to say, "Come on over to our 3:30," and he'll beat me up again. He doesn't beat anybody up.
No, yeah, I don't think he's beat me up yet.
He thinks he's getting to people when he just ignores what you say and talks over you and moves on to whatever he wants to say. And I like he reminds me of a smaller version of who's that other guy who we talked about last night. I just remember I said that I just started hearing videos from him.
Oh, Darth Dawkins.
Yes, that Jill is like a minor version of that.
Yeah,
like he really doesn't want to have a dialogue or a conversation. He really doesn't want to think critically. And I told him last night when I was over on Jay's channel. I told him, I was like, dude, you listen with your mouth.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think he just tries to get a stir out of people. I don't think he really thinks the things he thinks. I think he's at least mixed, so I don't think he can really have the stances that he has on slavery, which is what we're supposed to be talking about at 3:30. I'm kind of afraid like he's trying to ambush me. We'll see.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to listen. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think he'll listen. Maybe I'll get a chance to rage.
I'm sure you will.
But now, I'm so worried about, I probably won't mirror the conversation now just because these disingenuous people are really attacking us. They're trying to get us taken down. I'm worried about YouTube and getting taken down now. So
the best thing is just don't be hateful. And I haven't seen that so far on anything that I watched.
They're attacking response videos now. They're attacking fair use. Godless Cranium got demonetized. It's just I'm going to get away from.
Yeah, but they're demonetizing Christians too. They demonetized the what is that guy? The Mario TVC, the Vigilant Christian guy. He got demonetized. He was.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. It's both sides. It's not.
They demonetized Chris LaSala, and I'm glad that dude's gone now because he was a waste of.
I'll be talking to Skylar and Digital Hammurabi on Tuesday night, and I know he got a copyright strike for something he did on Brett Keane. So I'm like,
stupid.
So I'm wondering, was it Brett Keane or was it YouTube? Maybe like a preliminary, like maybe this is just something they're cracking down on. Is they're trying to get rid of fair use or?
I think Skylar said that his strike had Brett Keane as the person who initiated.
Yeah,
but I
saw that video. Like it said Brett Keane, copyright strike from Brett Keane. So yeah, I just kind of want to like get his thoughts on it. Like, could it be possible that it was YouTube? But more likely it was Brett Keane being the manatee.
So
but I'll have a chance to ask him. I'm also going to have a chance to ask him if Jill turned them down on a debate over slavery recently because Kyle at Non Sequitur was talking about that. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to have him on my channel. I will ask.
Cool.
Jill says, of course, no, I did not. So
Jill says he doesn't block females either. He lies.
Yeah, he's so sexist.
He has no problem lying.
Oh, that's probably... Yep, that's my daughter's friend's parents right there.
All right, man.
So, yeah, I do need to get off here. Spectacular Anti-Theist, really good having you on. Sorry I couldn't have you on a little longer. But anytime I'm having an open conversation, feel free to jump in, put your beliefs out there, argue with people. Sorry about Facebook going off. We'll turn that off for a second. Yeah, anytime you want to come on and feel free to argue with people, and that's kind of what we do here. Sometimes I keep it respectful. Sometimes I let the dumpster fire ensue.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming. It got pretty negative there towards you, Messenger. Glad you're being a good sport about it. John, I would just recommend, talk with Messenger. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think you're a bad guy. I think if you guys talked, you could come together. And hopefully that will happen right here on the Raging Atheist. Like I said, Tuesday night, Digital Hammurabi and Skylar Fiction will be on. And we'll see if next weekend I can't get that Christian blogger on. He says he wants to come on, so we'll see if it happens. All right, guys, I will see you guys soon. Have a good night or day.
All right.
Say.